Phoenix first responder teams are taking a break from the meetings and demonstrations inside to step into SWAT cars like this to do a terrorist demonstration outside. It doesn't matter whether you're alone or in a group, strikers will attack at any time. From assembling these fish hideouts on land, we have loaded the boat to set sail. Members of the Arizona Child Proofers want to make sure that you take pool toys like this out of the pool, as it's enticing for kids to get in the pool. They have created two tours, one of a suburban spiritual significance and the other of a more remote area that would take a 1-mile hike over lava rocks and soft sand. Hydroplaning is a common thing when it comes to monsoon season, and what officers want to get out is that it's better to slow down than spin out. Tonight, President Donald Trump is giving his annual State of the Union address. I'm live in Civic Space Park in downtown Phoenix, asking Arizonans what they want to hear. Today's training was the first of many. The AG's office and SAFE are holding these free trainings for any companies that come in contact with victims or traffickers. Live in Sky Harbor, Amanda Slee, Cronkite News. Phoenix first responder teams are taking a break from the meetings and demonstrations inside to step into SWAT cars like this to do a terrorist demonstration outside. The scene is this. Phoenix first responders get intel that a small group of domestic terrorists are targeting a hospital. A suspect vehicle flies down 3rd Street outside the convention center, and choppers land with SWAT teams rushing inside a nearby building. Phoenix Fire, hazmat crews, and a robot work the scene where the driver is stopped. Phoenix Fire Captain Rob McDade hopes this demonstration shows the public they don't need to worry.
With your tax dollars that you use, that you pay, that we've got you protected, and that indeed we do have a plan for anything, God forbid, that could happen.
McDade also says it's important to be prepared.
When you look at Phoenix, we're a city that hosts Final Fours, All-Star games, and the Super Bowl. So we need to show them that for any major emergency that could happen, we're prepared for it. We're going to show them what we can do in a moment's notice because it happens so quickly. If there's a terrorist act, we need to show them that we are indeed prepared.
The demonstration is part of the National Homeland Security Conference, and it's brought public safety personnel together from around the world to network and share tips.
Preparing here is, talking, learning, collaborating, seeing what others are doing. So maybe it's not being done in your hometown, but now we take it back and we can start implementing whatever that action might be in your own hometown to make sure we're doing the best.
In downtown Phoenix, Amanda Slee, Cronkite News. I'm out here at Bartlett Lake where Arizona Game and Fish is putting something different in the water for these fish.
You could call it Fish City.
David Weekman is the Aquatic Habitat Program Manager with Arizona Game and Fish. He says these habitat enhancements will give fish some place to live.
One of my guys, we were working one day and he goes, I'm really glad we're helping out all these homeless fish.
Officials and volunteers gathered to build between 70 to 100 of these artificial fish habitats, which consist of PVC pipes and corrugated drain pipes. This is all an effort to help the ecosystem at Bartlett Lake thrive.
We're trying to replicate what's natural. As weird as that sounds with PVC and stuff, we try to replicate what would look natural in a natural built lake or river. And you look at trees and no two trees are the same.
From assembling these fish hideouts on land, we have loaded the boat to set sail. Intern for the Aquatic Habitat Program, Hunter Pauling, says these are beneficial for many reasons.
A lot of our reservoirs in Arizona are man-made. So at the bottom, there's really no habitat. It's just barren, and fish need habitat for recruitment, for the little guys, for bigger fish to ambush, and for predation and stuff like that. So it's just important that we have habitat in here for the anglers to fish on, and just for the overall health of the population of fish.
It's expected that these structures will last 15 to 20 years or longer, depending on the water levels and exposure to sunlight.
If they stay underwater, As with all things in the Arizona sun, if the water level drops down and these get exposed to the sunlight, the UV radiation will break down the PVC and it becomes brittle, and they'll start breaking apart if they're exposed to sunlight for too long.
Arizona Game and Fish has identified 25 locations around this lake to drop these playgrounds. They will sink to about 50 feet below the high water line. Over summer and fall, they hope to have put in about 500 of these. But this isn't the only lake to get this type of fish habitat.
It's a long-term project, at least 20 years, to do the 5 different reservoirs. And as natural conditions dictate, we'll respond to those natural conditions and how the fish populations respond to those conditions to identify which reservoirs are going to get habitat structures next.
They've already implemented this into Roosevelt Lake, and they say the feedback's been really good for both the fish habitat and for fishermen in the area. Reporting live from Bartlett Lake, Amanda Slee, Cronkite News. After being wounded in combat in 2009, Jess Manny, U.S. Army veteran, needed something more in his recovery process.
Through all the great things that the medical industry does for us, our veterans, there was always that piece I was missing, and I found it through the adrenaline rush in motorsports.
Manny founded Vetdrenaline to help other vets work through their PTSD.
Sometimes getting that adrenaline rush brings us right back to those environments that we had overseas, but in a controlled, positive way.
U.S. Marine veteran Joanna Sweat got a chance to buckle up as a passenger in a drift car. Sweat works in veteran advocacy, encouraging other vets to seek help. But she avoided her own issues until joining this Vetdrenaline team.
It helps you address the things that you miss from the service, like teamwork, camaraderie, and just kind of that adrenaline of having a mission and moving forward and doing something that civilian life just can't fill the gap.
Most civilians don't get to ride shotgun with a professional drift driver.
The 3 that I got to take had never been in a drift car before, and it completely changed their mind. They said they had no idea the speeds that we got up to, the angle, you know, the tire smoke, and just the horsepower and everything, the whole combination. They said it was just amazing.
I was scared because I didn't understand the concept of just whipping a car around. So, but when you get in it, it's literally like, it's so awesome. You're like floating, and it's so fast. It's like you're competitive, you're racing, and so that's fun.
Feeling the rush without being in the battle. In Chandler, Amanda Slee, Cronkite News.